Sports View London boxing news from the capital city with Shane McGuigan. Shane just had the first press conference to announce the fight between your man Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg. A bit heated up there towards the end.
Yeah, that's what happens. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks they're going to win. I'm very confident in Carl's ability. Joe's obviously clearly confident that Scott can beat him. But although he never used to say that until we started working with him, so he's obviously doing something incredibly right with him. But no, I think it's going to be an exciting fight. Scott's not the best talker, so he's trying to clutch at straws and that. But no, it was a good old press conference. He has Joe and Eddie to talk for him, but whether he believes it or not, I'm not sure.
Regarding, do you think on some level there's a false confidence from the Quigg camp, in as much as that Carl suffered 2 flash knockdowns as you described them, and they've drawn confidence that they're going to now do that?
No, 100%. They said that we've lost confidence in Carl, not that they've got confidence, but they definitely got confidence off that, and they think they're listening to rumours from ages ago in the gym that Frampton's this and that and vulnerable, and they think that he's vulnerable or whatever, but he's not. Listen, he's had 21 fights. He's only been put on his arse twice. By 2 flash knockdowns. Quigg was put on his arse by Jamie Arthur. He's put on his arse beforehand by some journeyman, Alejandro something. Early on in his career, he's had two draws. He's shown a lot more vulnerability than Carl Frampton. If you look at all of Carl's fights, he's never come close to having a split decision or a draw. Everything's been very, very clear, very one-sided. I think they are genuinely clutching at straws, and obviously it's a massive fight, it's a big pay-per-view fight. It's going to generate Scott Quigg a lot of money. I believe Carl Frampton can generate this sort of money. Once he beats him, he can generate this sort of money for the rest of his fights, I think, because he is a superstar. He's a good talker, great personality, and he's just a likeable guy. People can relate to him, and people can, they see a bit of themselves in him, and he's a working class guy, and he's just a joy to be around, to train. He's my first fight over to train, and it's been a great journey.
Regarding the fact that Carl's, as you say there, he went out and won a world title from a world champion, defending world champion, and the fact that he did that in front of 16,000, do you think that sets him apart in this fight, Shane? He's been there.
I think his amateur experience as well, going away from his comfort zone, going out, although everyone keeps talking about how sensational the fans are when you go back to Belfast, and they lift him up and blah blah blah. But he's gone out to El Paso. He's got off the canvas out in El Paso and gone on to win. And that's a sign of a true champion in my opinion. He's gone out of his comfort zone and won when he's out of his comfort zone. He's also amateur experience, travelling all around the world, fighting different people, and he made it at top class in the amateur. So that pedigree has set him up for the pros. And I'm just working on refining him day in, day out, and I believe 100% we can beat Scott Quigg. Whether we can knock him out or not, I'm not sure. It just depends how many risks Scott Quigg is willing to take. But if it goes down to if it's on points for him to beat him.
Just finally, Shane, I noticed that up at the head table there, when Scott Quigg's trainer Joe Gallagher kept mentioning about the power and the early knockout, and you sort of had almost an amused look on your face, as if how has now Scott Quigg become the puncher of the two? Am I right?
He's always been a puncher. Don't get me wrong. I remember talking to Gavin Reed, who Carl knocked out in 2 rounds, whereas Quigg took him 8 rounds. I remember speaking to him after that was for one of his Celtic title fights. So I remember saying, "What's Quigg's power like?" and that, and he said, "No, he's definitely a hard puncher and that." But Carl still got him out of there in 2 rounds, where it took Quigg 8 rounds to get him out of there. So I believe that Carl's a lot more clinical when he gets somebody hurt, and when he can finish the job real quick. And also he's very accurate, very balanced. Keith Martinez was falling over his front foot all the time, and he was just right in the danger zone all the time with that big uppercut. And was only a matter of time before he got bingoed, or Scott got bingoed himself. But he showed a bit of character there. There's no doubt about it. He came through a rough first round. And Kika, when he comes out, it's hard to move away and box him on the move and actually offset him like that. He's relentless. And he did a great job, don't get me wrong, but I believe that Frampton, even in the first fight, Frampton never looked off, unsettled or out of his comfort zone, whereas Quigg definitely did in that first round. But it's a completely different fight. Carl Frampton's nothing like nothing like Kika Martinez, and Scott Quigg's nothing like Kika Martinez. Everyone's completely individual and different. And I believe what I see day in, day out in the gym is going to be the defining factor. But obviously Gallagher's seeing a lot of good stuff as well, but I just think that we've got the number. I mean, Carl's been calling him out for 4 years. He believes he can beat him. I've seen some just fundamental mistakes from Scott Quigg, and they'll say exactly the same about Carl Frampton, but I believe our mistakes are a lot less than Scott Quigg.
Just finally, Shane, do you think Carl Frampton lands clean? Do you think that ends the fight? Sorry, 20.
Yeah, as I said before, I think it depends how many risks Quigg's gonna have to take. I think when it comes to standing off Carl, he's not going to beat him. He's going to have to press the fight, and in pressing the fight, you're going to have to take risks. And we'll have some serious traps to set for him when he walks onto us, and whether he can stand up to them and stand up to them for 8-10 rounds. He'll go at some stage. I believe if he continues to take the risks, he'll go. But he could stand off him for a little bit and then try and push it when Carl's getting tired. But you saw in that last fight, Carl's on different canvas, different surfaces. They keep saying that we're making excuses about it, but that's stuff that saps your legs and it definitely takes your energy away. And Carl showed no signs of being tired in that fight. He just breezed through the rounds, and he was dropped in the first round. So he can change. People didn't appreciate Joe Calzaghe until he's gone. And this fight to me could be a Joe Calzaghe, Jeff Lace. It could be a one-sided beating. I'm not saying it's going to be, but it could be. And I think styles make fights. I think Carl's got his number.
Shane McGuigan, thank you for your time.
Cheers,
much appreciated.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, Shane.